It is one of these terms that is so popular in culture that it almost means nothing anymore. And it can be frustrating the older you get when people talk about lofty ideals like finding your calling. You need to find your calling. Well, for most of us, that's way outside of the realm of our everyday life. We're trying to pay bills. It's like, you need to find your calling, and you're like, well, I'm doing good to find my keys in the morning, and you want to talk about finding your calling. And as much as I understand that, I also understand that there's a reason that the majority of questions that I have been asked as a pastor in these 13 years, going on 14 years, the reason for it is that there is something inside of you that wants to find the thing that you were made to do. And you will never be satisfied with anything else. And no matter how much sex you have, money you make, friends you meet, no matter how big the house is that you build, no matter how many cars you park in the driveway, there will always be something unsatisfied in you until you find that thing that we call a calling. And yet, so much damage has been done in popular culture by the concept of calling that it actually makes us discontent with our lives, because rather than understand the real nature of a calling, we have a concept of a calling, and often we spend our lives wishing that we were doing something that God did not tell us to do. So to break this first sermon down today, and there will be several in this series, I'm praying that you come to all of them. And I'm praying if you can't come to all of them, you'll watch them all, because they're all online for free. And I can't figure out a reason in the world why you couldn't spend 40 minutes with me on YouTube each week, even if you have to do it while you're walking the dog, even if you have to do it while you're falling asleep. I'll put you to sleep. I don't mind. Whatever I can get, I'll help you run on the treadmill. Just whatever you have to do to get these messages. The Bible says in verse 1 that in those days, while Samuel, the 12-year-old who was apprenticing in the tabernacle because his mother Hannah prayed that she could have a son and she had trouble conceiving, and when she finally had the son, she dedicated him to the Lord, and she dropped him off at age 4 and only saw him once a year, and she put him under Eli, who wasn't doing a very good job. He was letting his sons run around in the tabernacle and have sex with women at the entrance to the tabernacle. And he knew about it, but he wouldn't do anything about it. And he was letting his sons beat people up who had brought their sacrifice to the temple. And they brought their sacrifice to God, but the priests took it for themselves. Hophni and Phinehas, Eli's sons, would send their messenger out to the tent and say, hey, Hophni said, you got to give him the fat portion. And the people who came would be like, well, that's for the Lord. They can get the portion after it burns off. That's the priest portion. But they had gotten confused about what it meant to honor God. And they had started honoring themselves and their opinions and their desires. And they started treating God as common.